So as you take a look at my team here, this is Dynasty. I am 6-4, like I mentioned. I've made a few trades, I've made a few acquisitions, but all in all, I like my team at 6-4. I'm the 5th team out of 6 to make the playoffs as projected today as we move into Week 11. But I'm happy with some of these guys. I got Moncrief lined up for some big things. I promoted Tajay Sharp from my taxi squad down here. And overall, I like where I'm at receiver-wise. I got Lockett, Evans, Diggs, Sammy Coates, Ty Montgomery with even Tyrell Williams. So wide receiver-wise, I'm pretty solid. My running backs, obviously, I need some help for next year's Dynasty rookie draft. I got a lot of picks that I've sacrificed and traded for, so I'm actually going to get like 4 picks in the first 2 rounds next year, so that will be better. But as of now, I'm thin, other than Bilal Powell, who has had a good year. I lost Charles Sims, like I've mentioned before, and then I got Tevin Coleman coming back. So there you have it. That's kind of where I'm at. I know a lot of people have been asking, but I'm pretty happy with this team where it was. I wasn't playing for this year. In Dynasty, you kind of have a choice, or you can try the theory of, hey, I'm going to try to win this year, but hey, if I don't, right, I'm just going to rebuild. You can kind of do that blend of both, but I still think you need to draft as young as possible, and I like my team. It's pretty young. It's pretty good, especially with guys like this. Safety here, I got Deron Lee. I got Deion Jones. I'm looking good at defensive tackle. So all in all, there you have it. So cool. All right, back to the show here. Let's move on as we look into the waiver wire gems of Week 11. All right, Week 11, waiver wire gems, Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. I took a little break. I did. But you know what? In this day and age of fantasy football, what's losing here, in my opinion, are people thinking for themselves or crying out loud. Gosh, I take a little break. People are, where's the videos, man? What's going on? Think for yourself. Draw your own conclusions. You're listening to too many analysts and too many experts. I appreciate you listening to my show, but part of the fun as I look back 10, 20 years ago was doing all this stuff on your own. So I'm hoping you're taking what has been given, anecdotal advice, some gems, and as you build your fantasy footprint, which is what we've been talking about, receivers, running backs, getting your core ready for the playoffs, maybe a break was good. So, yeah, I took some time off there. I'm back. Here we go. We'll kind of look back through what we've been dealing with on some of the instructions I've been telling you. Bilal Powell, boom, blew up, okay? Bibbs is doing well in Denver as a backup running back. I really hope and think that this guy could emerge here in the playoffs. We don't know. We're in uncharted waters. This is what happens every week 11 to week 14 in fantasy football. Everybody's trying to fight for the playoffs. And I know you are out there too. So hopefully some of these names have helped you. Interesting, that one comment I got about 4 or 5 weeks ago on Alex Collins. Look at what's happening with Christine Michael now as they ship him out of there. And you have Thomas Rawls returning, who I don't think is going to be the long-term play this year. I still think he's going to be eased in. And good for CJ Process. You know, I was kind of down on him. I didn't think he'd be the guy. Can you call me reaching for Alex Collins? I'm kind of like shoving a square peg in a round hole, maybe. I just like the guy. Alex Collins is my guy. I have him on a taxi squad in both Dynasty leagues for a reason. I like the way he runs. I think Pete Carroll knows that too. But Pete doesn't like to tell people what's going on. He knows my uncle. We know him as well. He's a good guy, Pete, but he doesn't hold his cards and show them to everybody else, especially the media or what's going on. So, yeah, that comment, the guy was saying, oh, yeah, you know, Johnny B, you're telling guys to go get Alex Collins in like week 5. I said, yeah, he's the ultimate flyer. If you got room on his bench, go for it. You know, I got a couple friends of mine who watch this show. They have Alex Collins, and they're going, awesome. This is great. He's number 3 on the pecking list. You just never know. You just have to be prepared. That's how the best lawyers in this country work. So, here's how it is. And yeah, we're all lawyers here. We're playing fantasy football. Again, draw your own conclusions, man. Like we talked about, week 11 is going to bring some golden nuggets. Obviously, as I kind of recap and get back to you guys, if people like this are already out there, come on, should already be gone. West, Tim the Tool Man, it's Tim time, Hightower, gone. Supplies on the fly, James Starks, whatever. I think that's kind of too obvious. I don't have a lot for you guys other than my Bibbs pick for running back there. I think at this point, Green Bay, let's see what happens with Christine Michael. But the chances are the guy in your league already has him. He's not dropping him, right? I mean, he was waiting to see where he'd fall. So running backs, you really have had to watch the show earlier to have a guy like Kenneth Dixon, who I told you, what did I say? Kenneth Dixon, hold, bench for later. Bench hold for later. I repeated it backwards. Kenneth Dixon, week 5. So that means I was actually doing something week 4 with him, okay? Kenneth Dixon. I already told you about him. I already told you about Chris Thompson. I already told you about a couple other runners that hopefully you have on your squad, on your deep bench, like we talked about. So that's why there's not a lot of runners right there. Receivers, again, should be gone, already gone. Chris Hogan, J.J. Nelson, that's kind of old news, but again, I skipped a couple weeks here. Taylor Gabriel, I like what Atlanta's doing with him, okay? Inman, he's not going to be there probably by the time this show airs, right? Supplies on the fly, good luck there. Again, I told you to go get Meredith way back when. I told you to get a couple of these gems, so I don't have a lot for you there on the wide receiver. Hopefully you're just massaging your team and what you have on the bench. Vernon Davis is back. Why not? We told you to go get him. And if you've probably dropped him by now, it's too late, but that's okay. I like what's going on in New England with Bennett. And the thing is with Gronk, we don't know what's going on. So perhaps you already have him, or you have another tight end with Cameron Brate, like we discussed Brate. I thought a while back, and in this show. So and also with what's going on in tight ends, it's not really the year of the tight end. We already talked about that. I think to win your league this year, you need the wide receivers, and so I'll leave it at that. Defenses, I haven't been too great this year, I won't lie, but I think week 11, I'll play Detroit. Why not? We'll go with them, and we'll see what happens. Again, it's fun to look back. I already showed you my team, but looking back at this draft, boy, what would you have done different? Now that you know what you knew and all that, but I'm happy with my dynasty team. I'm happy where I got certain guys, other than Sims going down here. In hindsight, sure, I would have never taken Woodhead this early, PPR king, but it would have been Melvin Gordon here. I do have him in a couple other leagues. Around round 6 or 7 I got him, but in this league I decided to go Woodhead and the upside down hybrid approach. So it is fun looking back on this, but I'm having fun. Again, I'm 6-4. I'm gonna make the playoffs. I'm looking good this year, and hopefully you followed some of my advice to get and capture some of those wins. I wish you guys the best. I wish you a great weekend here as you approach Turkey Day next Thursday. I will have a show for you next week, and as we get closer to the playoffs, I hope you still listen. So thanks for watching me. Appreciate all the comments, all the emails, guys. If you have any specific needs, let me know. But again, check me out on Twitter, UDD Works, Upside Down Drafting. I'm a Matt Waldman fanatic freak, and now it's time to play some golf as I get closer to the playoffs. It takes the mind off the stress, and I will win. I will let you know how we do, but this year I will win. My team is bound to do it, and I'm excited about it. So thanks for joining me, guys. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye now.